Hello YouTube, this is a story time video. Um, Again, I'm going to have to apologize for the lighting because the lighting in my room sucks. But, anyways, let's get started on the story. Um, I recently uploaded a video on how to deal with bullies because of some really tragic news. And it's a very common event. And I decided that I should upload a video on how to help people deal with bullies. Now, this happened to me in the 8th grade in science class, and I want to tell you how I dealt with it. It's not what I preached in my other video, and it was the wrong thing for me to do, but I got the results that I wanted, and so let's get started with the video. I'm going to try to make this somewhat short and sweet. I might ramble a little bit, but I'll get back on track. Basically, I was in science class. I had this song stuck in my head, Devil Went Down to Georgia by Charlie Daniels. And it was me and my friend on the science table. You know, they had lab stations. And these three other guys, one of them was big corn fed. The other one was pretty big, but a lot bigger than me. I was borderline anorexic. And the other one was kind of skinny. All three big rednecks. And I'm not saying that as a bad thing. I'm just describing them. And they accosted me, and they started exchanging some words. They picked me out. I don't know if it's because of my speech impediment, if I was small or what, but one of them was kind of the leader that started the whole thing, and the rest followed. And they started um, bullying me. And every so often they'll stand up, walk kind of behind me, and as they're walking behind me, they'll punch me right in the back. It didn't hurt so bad, but it still was physical contact, and they were physically beating me. And it wasn't like one hit. Well, it was one hit after another by each individual person, but they would hit me and then walk off. It wasn't like they were constantly attacking me, and I felt scared for my life. Um, but it was unpleasant. So during one of these things where they were hitting me and walking off, I looked over to my friend, and this is where I kind of screwed up, but it worked for me. I didn't get a teacher like I should have. I looked over at him and I said, "Do you have your lock from your locker?" And he's like, "Yeah." So I put it around my middle finger, the lock resting against my palm, turned it into a knuckle duster, and I put my hand under the table. And they came back. We had some words, and it was pretty well known by a lot of people that my brother was a lot bigger than me, a lot stronger than me, and you know, people didn't mess with him in general. And the leader of the group looked at me after he did the things they did, and he said, "What are you gonna do? Go get your brother?" And I locked eyes with him, and I said, "Nope." I pulled out that my hand with the lock on it, and I started tapping the desk. I was like, "I'm capable of taking care of myself," and I just stared at him, tapping on the desk. Um, Never had any issues with them for the rest of my school career. Actually, one of them, I didn't become good friends with them, but we actually got along just fine. And the leader of the group that started bullying me, after this happened, and we were in PE, and I forgot a change of clothes to change out in PE, and he offered me a change of clothes, and for PE class. We never had any issues with him whatsoever. Later on, I was told by my family, my this was uh, a few days later, the principal called my mom and said, "Hey, there's been some issues with that some things happening to your son, and I wanted to tell you. By the way, my parents and the principal, and me and the principal, very great friends. We are invited to their family gatherings. They're invited to our family gatherings. We're pretty tight, and um, and the principal knew me." Um, and I have other stories to prove this. But in this situation, he called my parents and said, "Hey, these kids came to me and told me that they were bullying or picking on me, and I pulled out a lock and threatened them with a lock." And they told me that I'm Austin, was crazy, and that they were concerned, and he laughed about it, and he just wanted to tell my parents about it, in case I went home and told them that something happened at school or whatever. He just wanted to give her the heads up, and I wasn't one to talk about my problems with my parents. Usually, if something happened, they got called anyways, because when something happened, something really did go down, far as stuff. Anywho, it was some years later, after I graduated, we were talking about the event again, and my parents were reminding me of the phone call, and they added an extra detail to it that they didn't tell me before. Because when I was in junior high, I didn't curse. I didn't use curse words. About the worst thing I would say was jackass, and that was it. And plus, uh, there was a respect between my parents and me that I didn't curse in front of them. There was just, that was how I had a respect for them. But after I graduated from high school a few years, we're talking about the event, and she said, "Yeah, remember when those kids went up to the principal? They said that you're effing crazy." Uh, and apparently I really scared them, which is funny because I was literally eighth grade. I was around 80 something pounds, soaking wet, and I scared these people. And um, I found it amusing. And although it was not the correct thing to do, it wasn't the right thing to do, I should have never pulled out a weapon. Um, but it de escalated the situation, and I got the desired result that I wanted. And I just wanted to share that with you. I thought it was kind of funny, not at the time, but reminiscing about it and talking about I actually intimidated someone is kind of a new concept for me in junior high and before. I never intimidated anybody from junior high and before. Well, I take that back. There's some other stuff I can talk about, but that's it. That's the story, and I'm able to tell it in less than 10 minutes. And I never had issues from those guys again. And like I said, kind of had a somewhat good relationship with one of them. That he comes by my walk every now and then, and we're like, "Hey, how you doing?" It's like, "Hey, tell your brother I said hi," and stuff like that. Um, we have a respect for each other. But that's it. I'm gonna end this video right now.